Students, so today we discuss the new chapter in the second year chemistry intermediate syllabus. So here on the chapter, just the chapter was related to the general topics. That means, for example, whenever we are diseases or when we are suffering from some diseases, so we are using the number of types of the tablets, nothing but number of types of the medicines. Here that medicines can be made up of our chemical substances. So different type of medicines will be used in the different type of the chemical substances and different type of the chemical structures can be used in that medicines. So in this chapter, briefly we discuss about the what is the mean by the medicine and how the chemical substances can be used in that medicines and preparation of that medicines. So today our chapter is new chapter is that is related to the our real life, general life, that is the chemicals are used in our real life, nothing but the chemistry in everyday life. What is that? Chapter name is the chemistry in everyday life. This is our chapter. So in this chapter, first we have to know what is the mean by the drug. First we have to know the what is the mean by the drug. Then we move to the meaning of the medicine. Drug means nothing but it can be defined as the chemical substances of low molecular weight, nearly 100 to 500 units, react with macromolecular target and produce the biological response that is called as a drugs. Okay, student. So this is the meaning about the drugs. Drugs means nothing but the chemical substances of low molecular weight. Chemical substances, what is that? With low molecular weight that can be react with macromolecular target. Macromolecular target, then it produces the biological response that is called as a drug. So this is the meaning about the drug. Then here the different type of the drugs will be present. So types of drugs. Mainly the drugs can be classified into 4 categories. Drugs can be classified into 4 categories. On that one is based on the pharmacological effect. One type of drug is based on pharmacological effect. So this type of drug can be used in only doctors in hospitals and the specific drugs for the specific diseases. What is that? Based on the pharmacological effect, here these type of drugs can be used for specific diseases. We are using the specific drugs. So that is the one type of the drug. Another type is the based on the drug action. Based on the drug action also, we are divide the drug. What is that? Second category is the drug action. Third one is the chemical structure, nothing but the chemicals are used in that drugs. That is the chemical structure. Depend on the chemical structure also, we should classify the drug. And fourth category is the molecular targets. What is that? Based on the molecular target also, we should classify the drug. So based on these 4 types of categories, the drugs can be 4 different types will be present. On that one is based on pharmacological effect and based on the drug action and based on the chemical structure and based on the molecular target. Drugs can be classified how many types? four types of the drugs will be present. So in this chapter, another some new words will be arising. Here first we have to know the meaning of that terminology. So another one is the drug target. What is that? Drug target. What is the mean by drug target? Means the drugs interact with the biomolecules. What is that, students? The drugs interact with the biomolecules. In our human body, biomolecules means like a proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, etc. What is that? Drug target. Drug is target on human body. Which is the drug target? Drug interact with the biomolecules like proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, etc. These are act as a drug target. So here the macromolecules is called target molecules. What is that, students? Macromolecules. Macromolecules like a biomolecules. Example, proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates. These are act as a target molecules for drugs. Okay, students, clear? Here the drug target means macromolecules like a biomolecules. Example, proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates will be act as a target molecules for drug. So that is the meaning of the drug target. And now we have to know the meaning of the medicine. Okay, student, medicine. What is the mean by the medicine? Simple meaning. When drugs produce a therapeutic and useful biological response are called as a medicines. Okay, students, if the drugs produce a therapeutic, okay, drugs produce a therapeutic and that drugs useful biological response that are called as a medicines. Drugs produce a therapeutic and useful for biological response that is called as a medicines. Well-known example for medicine in our real life. For fever, we are using the paracetamol. So this is the one of the example for medicine. Similarly, aspirin. It is also example for the medicine. So this is the meaning about the medicine. Then the chemicals are used in the treatment is called as a chemotherapy. There another terminology, that is the chemotherapy. What is the mean by the chemotherapy? Means the chemicals are used in treatment. The chemicals are used in treatment, that is called as a chemotherapy. Okay, students, chemotherapy means the chemicals are used in a treatment, that is called as a chemotherapy. So this is the meaning about the drug target and medicines and chemotherapy. Students, in this video we discussed the drug target interactions. How the drug and their target interactions are possible in our body. Simply that is the drug target interaction. So for example, enzyme as drug targets, proteins which perform the role of biological catalysts in the body are called as enzymes. Okay, students, what is the mean by the enzymes? Means the proteins which perform the role of biological catalysts in the body are called as enzymes. For understanding the interaction between a drug and an enzyme, it is important to know how the enzyme catalyzes the reaction. So here only we have to know how the drug and enzyme interactions will be possible. how the drug and enzyme interactions will be possible. So for example, before that, here we have to know, for example, this is the enzyme. Here in this enzyme means nothing but what is that? The proteins which perform the role of biological catalyst in the body are called as enzymes. Enzymes means nothing but in our body the proteins. Okay students, in our body the proteins perform the biological catalyst that will act as a enzyme. Example, this is the enzyme. Let us consider, we assume this is the structure of the enzyme. Here in this enzyme, this portion will be called as active site. This is the active site of enzyme. Okay students, active site of enzyme. For example, this is the substrate. Here this one is the substrate. When enzyme substrate reaction, interaction, this substrate is occupy the active site which is present on the enzyme. It is binding the substrate, binding the active site of the enzyme. Then the reaction in between the enzyme and substrate will be completed. Then the message will be sent to our cells in a body. So this is the general reaction in between the enzyme and substrate in our body. What is that students? In enzyme, the active site will be present. When the substrate is occupied, is binding that active site and it will be form the bond. Then the reaction will be completed between the enzyme and substrate. This is the enzyme substrate product. When the reaction is completed, then the message will be sent to cells in our body. So this is the general reaction in between the enzyme and substrate. So that is the general enzyme substrate reaction. After the enzyme substrate reaction is completed, immediately the message will be sent to cells which are present in our body. Okay students. So now enzyme inhibitors. What is the meant by the enzyme inhibitors? Simple meaning. The drug can prevent the binding of the enzyme and substrate. Okay student. Generally in our body, the substrate is react with the active site which is present on the enzyme. Then the reaction will be completed. Then the message will be sent to the cells which are present in our body. This is the generally occur in our body. But here some drugs. Here some drugs. What is that? Drugs can prevent the binding of enzyme and substrate binding. Such drugs are called enzyme inhibitors. That means some drugs can be prevent that reaction. What is that reaction? Enzyme and substrate binding reaction. So some drugs can be prevent that enzyme and substrate binding reaction. So that type of drugs will be called as a enzyme inhibitors. The type of drugs is called as a enzyme inhibitors. For example, drug can inhibit the enzyme and substrate interaction in two ways. Mainly in two ways, the drug can inhibit the enzyme and substrate interaction in two ways. For example, in one way, what is the students? For example, in one way, here the enzyme and substrate. Previously we discussed the enzyme. For example, this is the enzyme. And for example, this is our substrate. Generally what is occurs? Here the substrate is occupied the active site which is present on the enzyme. When it is occupied that active site, then the reaction will be completed. But here some drugs, same size of the active site size and drug size will be same. The drug is occupied this active site which is present on the enzyme. What is that, student? Drug is occupy the active site which is present on the enzyme. When the drug is occupy that active site which is present on the enzyme, then what is occurs? The substrate do not recognize the active site which is present on the enzyme. Okay students, డ్రగ్ అనేది వచ్చి ఎంజైమ్ మీద ఉన్న యాక్టివ్ సైట్ని ముందే ఆక్యుపై చేస్తుంది. అలా ఆక్యుపై చేయడం వల్ల సబ్స్ట్రేట్ అనేది యాక్టివ్ సైట్ని ఆక్యుపై చేసి బైండింగ్ చేద్దామంటే సబ్స్ట్రేట్ డు నాట్ రికగ్నైజ్ దట్ యాక్టివ్ సైట్ బికాస్ ఆల్రెడీ ద డ్రగ్ ఈజ్ ఆక్యుపై ద active site which is present on the enzyme. So this type of drugs is called as a competitive inhibitors. Okay students, competitive inhibitors means the drugs can be prevent the enzyme and substrate reaction. In which way? Already the drug is occupy the active site which is present on the enzyme. Due to that reason, the substrate do not recognize the active site of the enzyme. Then there is no binding in between the enzyme and substrate. So that type of drugs will be called as a competitive inhibitors. Okay students, this is the one way of the enzyme inhibit. Here that enzyme inhibitor, one will be called as a competitive inhibitors. And another second way is the, for example, here this is the enzyme, this is the substrate. Generally substrate is occupy the active site which is present on the enzyme, then the reaction will be completed. But here some drugs can be occupy the allosteric site of the enzyme. For example, here the drug is occupy this position of enzyme. Example that is called as allosteric site. What is that student? Allosteric site. What is that student? Drug is occupy the allosteric site of enzyme. Example, drug is occupy this allosteric site of enzyme. When the drug is occupy the allosteric site of the enzyme, the active site of enzyme size will be changes. Okay student, clear? When the drug is occupy the allosteric site, the active size of the enzyme will be changes. When this active size of enzyme will be changes, the substrate do not binding that active site. So due to this way also we should prevent the enzyme and substrate reaction. Enzyme and substrate reaction. So that type of drugs is called as a non-competitive drugs. Okay student, clear? Simple, ఏం లేదు. ఎంజైమ్లో ఉన్న యాక్టివ్ సైట్కి సబ్స్ట్రేట్ వచ్చి బైండింగ్ చేయాలి. కానీ సమ్ డ్రగ్స్ ఏం చేస్తున్నాయి, ఎంజైమ్లో వేరే ఏదో ఒక పొజిషన్, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దాన్నే అల్లోస్టెరిక్ సైట్ అంటాం. సో డ్రగ్ ఎంజైమ్లో అల్లోస్టెరిక్ సైట్ని ఆక్యుపై చేయడం వల్ల ఎంజైమ్ మీద ఉన్న యాక్టివ్ సైట్ అనేది డిస్టర్బ్ అవుతుంది. అది సబ్స్ట్రేట్ రికగ్నైజ్ చేయడానికి అంటే బైండింగ్ చేయడానికి ఆ సైజ్ సరిపోవడం లేదు. ఈ వేలో కూడా సబ్స్ట్రేట్ ఎంజైమ్ రియాక్షన్ని ప్రివెంట్ చేస్తుంది డ్రగ్ అనేది. సో ఈ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డ్రగ్స్ని ఏమంటున్నాం, నాన్ కాంపిటీటివ్ డ్రగ్స్. This type of drugs is called as a non-competitive drugs. So this is the two ways are present to prevent the enzyme and substrate interactions. In one way, the drug is acted by the active site of the enzyme, then the type of drug is called as a competitive inhibitor. In another way, the drug is occupied the allosteric site of the enzyme. Due to that, the active site of enzyme will be changes. So substrate do not binding that size. So in this way, the type of drugs is called as a non-competitive drugs. So this is the enzyme inhibitors. There are the two types of the enzyme inhibitors: competitive inhibitors, non-competitive inhibitors. And here we have to know the another two terminologies, that is the agonist and antagonist. What is the meaning of the agonist? Means drugs which activate the receptors. Okay, the drugs which can be activate the receptor activity. Receptor activity ni activate chese drugs is called as a agonist. Okay students, antagonist means drugs which inhibit natural function of receptor. Okay, the drugs which inhibit natural function of the receptor, that type of drugs is called as a antagonist. Agonist, antagonist. Agonist means receptor natural function ni activate chese vaatini agonist antam. Antagonist means receptor natural function ni inhibit chese vaatini antagonist antam. So this is the meaning about the agonist and antagonist. Okay students, so now in this video, in previously we discussed the what is the meaning of the drug and what is the meaning of the medicines, and how the enzyme and substrate reactions will occurs in our body, and what are the drug inhibitors. So competitive inhibitors, non-competitive inhibitors. So now we are going to explain the some definitions on that analgesics. What is the mean by the analgesics? Before that, simple analgesics means these medicines can be used for relieve the pains. So these medicine is used to relieve the pains. So that are the analgesics. So mainly the analgesics are the two types. One is narcotic analgesics and another one is non-narcotic analgesics. So what is the meaning by the narcotic and non-narcotic analgesics? Means simple students. Narcotic analgesics means these are the addictive nature type of analgesics. Narcotic analgesics means these are the addictive nature. That means once we are using this narcotic analgesics, we are addictive. We are addictive the type of medicines. So that are called as a narcotic analgesics. And these narcotic analgesics is affected on the nervous system. When we are using highly using the narcotic analgesics, they can be affected our nervous system also. And when we are using these narcotic analgesics, they can be used in the producing for sleeping unconsciousness, and they can be producing the sleeping. So for example, generally in operation conditions, for the patient, they will be provide these narcotic type of analgesics. When they provide this narcotic type of analgesics, it can be produce the sleeping or it can be producing the unconsciousness. And what are the examples for this narcotic analgesics? Means morphine, codeine and heroin. These are the examples for narcotic analgesics. So this is the meaning about the narcotic analgesics. They are the addictive in nature. And non-narcotic analgesics, simple, it can be used for the mild pains like a headache. Non-narcotic analgesics is used for mild pains like a headache. And these non-narcotic analgesics does not produce any sleeping, and they do not having the addictive nature. That is the meaning of the non-narcotic analgesics. The well-known example for non-narcotic analgesics is aspirin and ibuprofen. This is the different type of the analgesics, narcotic and non-narcotic analgesics. Okay. Next, antimicrobials. Another definition is the antimicrobials. Simple meaning of the antimicrobial, that is the drugs which are used to cure diseases caused by a variety of microorganisms like a bacteria, virus, fungi, other pathogenics are called as a antimicrobials. What is that, students? Antimicrobials means the drugs can be used to cure the diseases and that diseases can be caused by the microorganisms such as a bacteria, fungi, virus and other pathogenics, that is called as a antimicrobials. And lysozyme and lactic acid, these are the examples for antimicrobials. Okay, students? And there are the different type of the antimicrobials. Different type of the microbials will be present. On that, one is antibiotics and another one is the antiseptics and another one is the disinfectants. All are the meaning is the same. What is that? Antibiotics, antiseptics and disinfectants. So the chemical substances which can be used for kill or prevent the growth of the microorganisms, that are called as a antibiotics, are also defined as a antiseptics and also defined as a disinfectants. So that is the meaning of the disinfectants, antiseptics and antibiotics. All are the definition will be same. What is the chemical substances which can be used for killing or prevent the growth of microorganisms, that is called as a disinfectants, antibiotics and antiseptics. So that is the definition of that. And here we observe the one by one. Antiseptics. So definition of antiseptics is the chemical substances which can be used for killing or prevent the microorganisms, that is called as antibiotics. But these antibiotics can be prepared from microorganisms and they are used to killing that type of microorganisms, that is called as antibiotics. Means it can be prepared with microorganisms. So that is the meaning about the antibiotics. And well-known example for antibiotics is penicillin, okay students, and chloramphenicol. Penicillin and chloramphenicol is example for antibiotics. Then antiseptics, definition is the same. What is that? The chemical substances which can killing or prevent the growth of microorganisms, that is called as antiseptics. But these antiseptics is used in the living tissues. Okay students, antiseptics are used in the living tissues. Example, well-known example is Dettol is example for antiseptics. And this Dettol is the mixture of the chlorhexidinol and terpinol. Okay students, Dettol can be prepared from chlorhexidinol, terpinol. It is the mixture of the chlorhexidinol terpinol. That is the one of the example for antiseptic Dettol. Another one is the Bithionol. Another example for antiseptic is Bithionol. And another example for antiseptic is tincture of iodine. What is that, students? Antiseptic example, tincture of iodine. How we can prepare the tincture of iodine? Means simple. 2 to 3% of solution of iodine in alcohol water mixture. Then that can be used as a tincture of iodine. Okay, student, how it can be prepared? 2 to 3% solution of iodine in alcohol water mixture, that is act as a tincture of iodine. These are the example for the antiseptics. Then disinfectants. Disinfectant means, the meaning of the disinfectant definition is also same. What is that? The chemical substance can be used for killing or prevent the growth of the microorganisms, that is called as a disinfectants. But antiseptics are used in the living tissues. Disinfectants is applied on inanimate objects. Okay, students, disinfectants is applied on inanimate objects. Example, mainly it is used in the floors and drainage systems. For cleaning of the floors, for cleaning of the drainage systems, we are using the disinfectants. The examples for the disinfectants, 1% of phenol. Okay, student. Formalin is also example for the disinfectant. Formalin means it can be prepared with 4% of aqueous formaldehyde solution is called as a formalin. These are the examples for the disinfectant. For example, if when we changes the concentration, that can be act as a disinfectant and also act as a antiseptic. For example, 1% of phenol is act as a disinfectant. Okay, student, when we are reduce this phenol solution concentration like a 0.2 to 0.3 percentage, 0.2 to 0.3% of phenol is act as a antiseptic. Okay, student, that means more concentrated phenol solution is act as a disinfectant, less concentrated of phenol solution is act as a antiseptic. So this is the meaning about the antiseptic and disinfectants and antibiotics and antimicrobial. Okay, students, in this video we discuss some other definitions. For example, artificial sweetening agents. So the meaning of the artificial sweetening agent means simple, the chemical substances which can be used for in place of the sugar. So simply that is called as a artificial sweetening agent. When we are using these artificial sweetening agents, it can be used in place of the sucrose for control the calories. That is called as a artificial sweetening agents. Artificial sweetening agents are used in place of the sugar, nothing but sucrose, but they are control calories. That is called as a artificial sweetening agent. And the well-known example for this artificial sweetening agents are, one is the saccharin. The saccharin is used as an artificial sweetening agent. So this saccharin is 550 times more sweetening compared with the sucrose. So that is the nature of the saccharin. And another example for artificial sweetening agent is aspartame. What is that, student? Aspartame. Aspartame is 100 times more sweetening nature compared with the sucrose. And these aspartame unstable at cooking temperature. Normally in cooking temperature it is unstable. Due to that reason it can be used in the cool material. That means in cool drinks these aspartame can be used as a artificial sweetening agent. Okay students, another example for artificial sweetening agent is halitame. This halitame is 2000 more sweetening nature compared with the sucrose. And another well-known example for artificial sweetening agent is sucralose. This sucralose is 600 times more sweetening nature compared with the sucrose. And this sucralose is stable at cooking temperature. Which is the unstable at cooking temperature? Aspartame. And which is the stable at cooking temperature? Sucralose is stable at cooking temperature. So this is the meaning about the artificial sweetening agent. Next another one is the food preservatives. Simple, food preservative means the chemical substance can be used for prevent the spoilage of the food. Nothing but control of spoilage of the food. Then the type of chemical substances will called as a food preservatives. And the well-known example for food preservative is sodium benzoate. What is the student? Sodium benzoate. And some antioxidants is also act as a food preservatives. What is the students? Antioxidants. These are food additives. That means food spoilage కాకుండా వాటికి యాడ్ చేసే వాటిని యాంటీ ఆక్సిడెంట్స్ అంటాం. ఓకే స్టూడెంట్స్, అండ్ దీస్ యాంటీ ఆక్సిడెంట్ హెల్ప్ టు ద ఫుడ్ టు ప్రొటెక్ట్ ద ఆక్సిజన్ యాక్షన్ ఆన్ ఫుడ్. Antioxidants, how can be used? Antioxidants help to the food to protect the oxygen reaction on the food. That is the nature of the antioxidant. And well, an example for antioxidants is butylated hydroxytoluene (BHT) and butylated hydroxyanizole (BHA). This BHT, BHA is well example for antioxidants, and this BHT, BHA is added to the butter for the prevent the oxygen action on that butter food. Okay student, BHT, BHA is used where? In butters. Similarly, sulfur dioxide and sulfonate can be added to the wine or beer for as a antioxidants. So this is the meaning about the antioxidants and for preservatives and some examples. So another definitions, that is anti-fertility drugs. Students, anti-fertility drugs. Simple. These chemical substances can be used for prevent the pregnancy. So that is called as a anti-fertility drugs. And example for this anti-fertility drugs is norethindrone and novestrol is example for the anti-fertility drugs. Then another one is the tranquilizers. What is the students? Tranquilizers. Simple, the chemical substances can be used for control the stress and mental tensions. Control the stress. The type of medicines is called as a tranquilizers. So that is the meaning of the tranquilizers. And example for tranquilizers is Valium and Veronal and serotonin. Valium, Veronal, serotonin is example for tranquilizers. And some barbiturates also example for tranquilizers. Barbiturates means nothing but The barbituric acid derivatives are called as a barbiturates. So these are the example for the tranquilizers. Next one is the antacids. Simple meaning, antacid means the excess acid can be produced in our stomach. To prevent that excess acid produced in a stomach, that is called as a antacids. Okay students, to prevent the excess acid in a stomach, that is called as a antacids. An example for antacids is the bases, that is sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3, and mixture of the aluminum hydroxide and magnesium hydroxide is act as a antacids. And antihistamines, simple meaning for antihistamines, to prevent the producing of the, or nothing but to prevent the interaction of the histamine to stomach walls, that is called as a antihistamines. So the well-known example for antihistamines is the terfenadine. Terfenadine is example for the antihistamines. So these are the some medicines, some drugs can be used in our daily life. And which type of the chemicals are used in that medicines. And this is the artificial sweetening agents, food preservatives, anti-fertility drugs, tranquilizers, antacids and antihistamines, antibiotics, antiseptics and disinfectants. These are used in our daily life as a medicines. And in this chemistry in everyday life chapter, we also again discuss the soaps. What is the meaning of the soap and what is the meaning of the detergent? Simple. Soap means it is the mixture of the sodium or potassium of a long chain fatty acids like a stearic, oleic and palmitic acid is called as a soaps. Soaps means it is the sodium or potassium of long chain fatty acids like a stearic acid, oleic acid and palmic acid, that is called as a soaps. And saponification. So the meaning of the saponification, sodium containing these soaps when heated with the aqueous sodium hydroxide solution, they will be form the fat. Simply that process is called as a saponification. And these soaps do not react with the hot water. Okay students, soaps is not actively react with the hot water. So due to that reason, in place of the soaps, we are introduced the detergents. So what is the meaning of the detergent? Means it is the sodium salts of long chain alkyl sulfonates or benzene sulfonates is called as a detergent. What is the meaning of detergents? It is a sodium salt of long chain alkyl sulfonates or benzene sulfonates is called as a detergent. So these detergents immediately react with hard water and soft water also. Soaps can be react with soft water, do not immediately react with hard water. But detergents is react with both hard and soft water. So when we compare the soaps and detergent, which are the better? Detergents are better compared with the soaps. So this is the meaning about the soaps and detergents. In the soaps and detergents also we are using the chemical substances. In soaps, sodium or potassium long chain fatty acids of oleic and palmitic acid. In detergents, that is also sodium salts of long chain containing sulfonates, alkyl and benzene sulfonates. These are the chemicals can be used in the soaps and detergents. gents.